Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rulla Alani and I am very excited for today's video. I have done one other perfume related video in the past, which was the top fragrances for a first date. If you have not already watched that one, then make sure to check it out up here. Today, along those same lines, I wanted to talk in specific about my boyfriend's favorite fragrances on me. Right off the bat, I will tell you that my boyfriend has super expensive taste when it comes to perfumes. I mean, it seems at this point he really only likes perfumes that are super high quality and that have really great projection and longevity. It's not every single day that he compliments me on a perfume because he flat out tells me most of my perfumes are just okay. But there are some perfumes that are showstoppers for my man. Like when I wear these and I come out into the other room and he's like, babe, are you wearing X, Y, and Z? Like, he's pretty good. I know there's a few, which I will point out to you guys, that he knows like the back of his hand. Other ones he gets a little bit confused with, but overall, I will say that some of my partner's favorite notes, at least on me, are rose. He really loves rose on me. He also likes those darker notes, like he likes incense, and he also likes oud. So that makes me really happy because I am someone who really loves those dark, mysterious perfumes that you can't just rock on a day-to-day basis. Like, they're definitely more formal, more for going out, more for a date night. So let's just jump right into it. I think I have 11 perfumes to share with you guys today, and I will be showing you guys the bottles, breaking down some of the notes, and yeah, let's have some fun. So fragrance number one is this one right here. So this is Le Parfum by Elie Saab. This is such a feminine perfume. This smells like a woman. I will say that when I first received this perfume and smelled it right out of the bottle, I thought it was too mature for me. It did smell a little vintage, but this perfume shines when you wear it. Oh my gosh. When I tell you that it lasts all day long, all night long, and it projects, like people can smell you from a distance, okay? Now let's get into the notes. This is basically a honeyed floral. So there are notes of orange blossom in here, there's notes of rose, and there's also that prominent note of honey as well as patchouli. So this really does smell like a spring garden. That's how I would describe it. It's very positive, it's very uplifting, it's very much a daytime scent. I will say that. I mean, it is strong, but this is something that I would wear during the day, and I would say it's most appropriate for spring and summer. Now, it is pretty heavy on the floral, so on a really hot summer day, this might be too much for some, and that's why I think some people would feel more comfortable to wear this during the fall and winter. For me, I like my super deep dark scent, so this is definitely more of a daytime scent. But the person who created this is Maison Francis Kurdjian, and as you guys will see later, he is a master perfumer, and it shows in this fragrance. This is fairly affordable, at least in comparison to the other perfumes that I'm going to show you guys, but just check out the bottle. Like, is it going to? Okay, there we go. Check out this beautiful bottle. Like, it is a work of art, and it really reminds me of Chanel in terms of just how classy it is and how elegant it is. At the end of the day, this is a perfume that I see myself wearing when I am 50 years old. And it's something that I would recommend for women who are 25 and up. I could see some women in their early 20s thinking that this is a little bit too floral, a little too much, but just wear it and thank me later, because it might seem a bit much from the bottle, but when you wear it, boy, does it come to life. The next perfume is number 5 by Chanel. This might make a lot of people gasp because it is seen as an old lady perfume or a vintage perfume, but oh my gosh, does this baby make me feel so sophisticated, so elegant, and I receive so many compliments from this, like not only from my partner, but from clients, from friends. And it's funny because when I have people come over and they smell my perfumes, when they smell this one, 9 times out of 10 they are not a fan of it, okay? This perfume definitely, if you smell it out of the bottle, you're not going to be a huge fan of it, okay? And that is because of the aldehydes in here. Not only are there aldehydes, but there are a lot of notes in here, including iris and bergamot and patchouli, and I mean, it just goes on and on and on. But at the end of the day, this perfume smells like a clean woman. That's how I would describe it. It is very soapy, and it just smells clean. Like, I've noticed when I first spray this on myself, it seems a little bit overpowering, but as the day goes on, I just smell so fresh and so clean and so feminine. This is definitely a boss perfume. Like, this is a perfume that I would wear to a business meeting. This is a perfume that I would wear when I want people to take me seriously, because although when you smell it out of the bottle, it seems like, oh my God, what just happened here? When you wear this, it really comes to life. Something with the chemistry, with my skin and this perfume, oh my gosh, it is a man magnet. My partner absolutely loves it. And it just smells, honestly, like home. Like, it kind of smells like a mom. I would kind of go out on a whim and say that. So if you're not into that, definitely don't purchase this. I see this more on ladies who are 30 and up. I mean, I am 26, but I still love it. And this is just a perfume that I think any woman needs to try. Although you might not like it now, this is something that you can wear decades from now. It's something that reminds me of my mom. It reminds me of any wise, elegant, sophisticated woman. I'm sure at some point in their life they have worn Chanel number 5. So this is the Eau de Parfum. I don't know if I mentioned, they do have an Eau de Toilette, and they also have a Parfum. I think, not extrait, but I think they just have like a Parfum, and then they have an Eau de Parfum. I've also heard good things about Chanel number 5 Low, which I've tried, and I like that one as well. Let's discuss some of the notes in here. So here is the beautiful bottle in all of its glory, and as I mentioned, I would be discussing some of the notes. So it has rose, it has jasmine, it has some citrus, it has some aldehydes, and it also has a vanilla, and I think the vanilla is just what makes this perfume so refined. And I think the longer you wear it, the more that vanilla comes out, and it even kind of has this powdery touch. So this is just a powdery, soapy, it's a class act. It is a bottle of elegance, and I think they actually just celebrated 100 years of this fragrance, so it just shows you how timeless and classic it is. So the next perfume that my partner loves on me is Delina by Parfums de Marly. Now, I think every man would absolutely die over this fragrance. This fragrance is so unique. It is definitely one of a kind because it is fairly feminine, right? It has peony, it has rose, it has cashmere, and so like it is very like soft and velvety and inviting, but it is also quite seductive because it has a few notes that have this tartness, a little bit of this sour element, and that comes from the rhubarb as well as nutmeg. And in the base there is some incense. So this fragrance, when you first apply it, seems so innocent and so pure and so like feminine, but then as you wear it, these like tart and sour nuances start coming and this smoky element, and it just makes it so sexy, so seductive, so alluring. This fragrance is an absolute gem. Like, I remember when I first smelled it, it was love at first sniff. Like, I literally purchased it at the counter, which is something rare. Like, I rarely smell a fragrance and have to have it then. I usually like think about it or like put a little spray on a test strip, and then I'll like, you know, I'll wait and figure out if it's something I really want. But I took a sniff of this thing and I was like, I need to come home with Delina. She is just absolutely beautiful. Like, this bottle really does show kind of the nature of this perfume. It is like this baby pink color, and she is just a perfume that I recommend to any woman. I honestly should have included this perfume in my top fragrances for a first date. The only thing is that some women think that that sour tartness is a put off for them, because it's not just your typical everyday designer fragrance that you would find at Sephora, but that's what makes this so, I don't know, that's what makes this perfume so sexy and so addictive, is that sourness, is that extra oomph, right? And it just sets it apart from anything else that I own in my collection. So definitely, ladies, get yourself a sniff of this, Delina by Parfums de Marly. I'm telling you guys, you're going to love it just as much as I do, just as much as my partner does, and you will not regret it. I also want to mention that in addition to rhubarb, this also does have lychee, which is such a unique note. You don't find lychee in many fragrances. It is more of an exotic fruit, but that does give this kind of a fruity tropical element, which I love. That is what makes this perfume so unique and so different from anything else in the market, is it's floral, it's fruity, it's a bit tropical, but it's also like sexy, and it's also just so alluring and so addictive that every girl, every lady, every woman on the planet must try Delina. Okay, the next perfume is Black Opium by YSL. This is a perfume that is a lot more mainstream than the others that I've been mentioning, and this perfume is amazing. I think it gets a bad rep because people think it's overrated, or a lot of ladies have it, but the amount of times I have been stopped, I have been asked by men, what are you wearing? What is that smell? Is just endless. This is a compliment getter, and I honestly think it's the coffee in here that just is so compelling, and men love it because men tend to love coffee, so this just speaks to men. This is definitely a sexy fragrance. I could see myself wearing this at a party or at a club, or you know, at some sort of get together like that where there's a lot of people. This perfume is so sweet, it is so like decadent, it is so rich. It smells like coffee, it smells like flowers, it smells like vanilla. It is so, it's almost syrupy in a way because of that coffee. Some people have explained it as smelling like a frappuccino, like one of those really nice sugary coffee drinks, which I could definitely see. This is the first perfume I'm mentioning today that is a gourmand. A gourmand is something that smells edible, so gourmands could smell like cookies or cakes, or in this case, like a frappuccino. So I think Black Opium is a beautiful fragrance. It was one of the first fragrances that my partner actually bought for me because he just loved the way it smelled and he wanted me to smell just like this. So this definitely will always hold a special place in my heart, and I recommend you to check it out. Next perfume is by Parfums de Marly. Again, this is Athalia. I mentioned this in my video, top fragrances to wear on a first date, and my oh my, there's a reason why I mentioned it. This smells like a top-notch woman. Literally, that's what it smells like. This smells like a woman that is hard to get, that has such high standards for herself, and who always just looks so well, so put together. This is Athalia. This fragrance is powdery, it is floral, and it's honestly quite cold. What I mean by that is some fragrances kind of pull you in and make you kind of want to talk to someone or get closer to someone. An example of that would be like Black Opium or Delina. This fragrance is a little bit more mysterious, to where you're like, it's not really a fragrance that says, hey, come talk to me. It's more cold, it's more reserved, but I think that's what makes this fragrance so unique and so womanly. This smell reminds me of the smell of powdery makeup and powdered lipsticks. So Athalia has notes of orange blossom, it has notes of iris, of amber, of incense. So it is a little bit smoky, but on the skin, this does leave like a powdery nature, and this perfume is just so refined and well blended that you really can't pick up any individual notes in there, but it is just one of those captivating perfumes that is mysterious and so well blended and put together. So one of the fragrances that my partner absolutely loves is Athalia. I would say this and Delina just get him every single time. The next perfume that my partner adores is Ambre Nuit by Christian Dior. This is a part of their private collection, and wow, this for me is a masterpiece. This is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. I also featured this one in the top fragrances to wear on a first date. This fragrance is fairly simple when it comes to the notes. Oh my gosh, I cannot. Like, every time I smell this, I just need a moment for myself. This really only has two notes, which is Turkish rose and amber. But it is just so deep and so rich and so complex. It is like this balance of like a delicate rose mixed with this deep amber that is like resinous and balsamic a little bit, and it is like fizzing and bubbling. And I know this sounds crazy to you guys, but just the way that this fragrance performs is just out of this world. It is so cozy, it is so enveloping, it is so romantic, and it is very warm. It's one of those fragrances that makes you want to snuggle up and get closer together. I highly recommend this scent for a date. I think it's beautiful, and it's actually unisex, so men can wear this too. I find it to be completely unisex. I know for some people it might pull more feminine or masculine, but I absolutely love this on me. I love to wear this during the fall time. I feel like this is just fall in a bottle, like even the color of the juice. It reminds me of autumn, and it is just one of those perfumes that evokes a mood. It is like a romantic mood, it's a sensual mood, it makes you want to get closer to the person, and it is just one of those fragrances that I will continue to wear for the rest of my life. Next, we get into a very unique fragrance that I haven't heard much people talk about at all, and this is Wardasina by Xerjoff. I mean, just take a look at this bottle. It is magnificent, to say the least. This perfume smells like Arabian royalty. I mean, wow. This is a rose scent, but there are green notes. When you first smell this, it smells very green and earthy. And then there's actually a tobacco note, and this becomes like this wet rose in the garden. Oh my gosh, this perfume is so strong. Oh my gosh, like you really only need to spray 1 or 2 spritz, and I have sprayed a jacket like once or twice, and my entire closet smelled like Wardasina for like weeks. Every time I opened the door, I was like, smells like an Arabian queen in this room. This perfume is so unique and so different. I mean, I have smelled so many like rose oud combinations, but I haven't smelled many rose tobacco combinations, and this is just the star. I mean, this isn't going to be for everyone, I will say that, because it does have this like dirty nature to it. It smells earthy. It smells like like I said, it smells like a wet rose in a garden, and you're smelling like the leaves and the earth, and someone's, you know, was smoking a cigar out there, so you're smelling that too. And it just leaves such a beautiful scent trail. After a while, this kind of just smells like a rose powder, and it is just amazing. It's a 10 out of 10. I will say that this grew on me. When I first smelled it, I was like, that might be a bit much for me, or that might be more masculine. But wow, after wearing this, now it is one of my favorite fragrances, and it's one of the fragrances that my boyfriend just absolutely dies over when I wear this. It is like magnets. When I wear this, he wants to be closer to me, and it just works every single time. It's beautiful. In terms of notes, there's green notes right at the top, and then it turns into this rose, saffron, patchouli, cedar kind of realm. It's very spicy and green and earthy, and then in the base you get the tobacco, you get the vanilla. Oh my gosh. It's a must sniff, you guys. Next, I have this beautiful baby, which is Portrait of a Lady by Frédéric Malle. Now, don't get discouraged. Just because I have a small bottle does not mean I absolutely do not love this thing. My partner adores this fragrance. This is another rose fragrance, but this one is so spicy. Like, wow, this smells like a spice market. This one has rose, it has raspberry, it has black currant, it has cinnamon, it has cloves, it has incense. Like, it packs a punch, and it is definitely a deeper fragrance. It's very spicy, like I mentioned before. For some women, this might be too much for them. I don't think that I could see every woman pulling this off. This does kind of take a strong, bold woman to pull this off, because it is quite intoxicating. Now, this fragrance will definitely make heads turn. It is so elegant. It is like, it smells like old money. That's how I would describe it. This is one of those ones that is quite bold. This one, I would say, is even bolder than Wardasina, but you guys can debate that with me in the comments. So just from this bottle here, you can see that I've used almost half of it, which is crazy considering that I have 40 plus perfumes. It says a lot. I love taking this one on vacations with me because, wow, for just this small of a space, this one makes me smell amazing for like miles on end. So this one's great. I love taking it on vacations and wearing it, you know, during a night out, for a date night, for a night going to bars or clubs or anything like that. This one is a head turner, and it really does smell like a lady, not a woman, not a girl, but a lady. Next, we have another rose fragrance. I wasn't lying when I said that my partner loves rose perfumes on me. This is Les Sables Roses by Louis Vuitton, and wow, this is basically a desert rose in a bottle. It smells, again, very Middle Eastern, very Arabic. This one, though, has notes that make it a little bit masculine. I will tell you this, like, I sometimes debate whether or not this is too masculine for me, but then I wear it and I'm like, nope, I am that when I wear this. Like, it is just so intoxicating and so addictive and so strong. Like, you really cannot wear this one if you are not ready to demand a presence. So in terms of notes, this one has rose, it has oud wood, it has saffron, it has ambergris, and that's what makes it salty. And this one, it has black pepper too, if I didn't mention that. It is so salty and spicy, and it is just one of those fragrances that smells like someone who wants the entire room to know that they are there. It is definitely the center of attention type of perfume. And I would think that this would be too much. Like, I would think that my partner would be intimidated by this, but he absolutely loves this perfume on me. He thinks it is so sexy. It's even quite gothic, I would say. Like, in terms of Portrait of a Lady and Wardasina, those are also some powerful perfumes, but I would say this one is a step further from those because there's barely any sweetness in here. At least in Wardasina and Portrait of a Lady, there was some sense of sweetness there. This one is so dry. It's so dry, and it smells like a rose in the middle of the desert. That's how I would describe it. You have to smell this. If it's not for you, then maybe it's for your man, because this one is definitely powerful, and you need to be ready to just rock the entire room when you wear this juice. Next, we have a masterpiece, and that is Baccarat Rouge 540 by Maison Francis Kurdjian. Now, this, if I had to say, is probably my partner's favorite fragrance on me, and I'm not the only woman that says that. I'm sure you can find so many different women in the world, and this scent is their partner's favorite. There is a reason why. There is something so unique and so different about this perfume. Yes, there are so many different types of brands that try to copy this, that try to replicate this, but I'm sorry, this cannot be redone. This is a fragrance masterpiece. The first time that I smelled this, my jaw dropped to the floor. That's how intoxicating, alluring, addictive it smelled. This can go so many different directions, and I think that's what makes it so unique. If you just smell it, you would think, oh my god, this is like a sugary smell. Like, it literally smells like a cotton candy, very sweet type of scent. But when you spray this on yourself, that is when the true beauty comes out. It has this woody, airy element, and it is so airy. Like, that's how I want to describe it. A lot of times when perfumes are sweet and sugary, they're dense and syrupy, and they're kind of weighed down. This one is the opposite. It is so airy. It fills the entire room around you. But the interesting thing is it has other notes. It has ambroxan, and that is one of the key reasons why this projects so far from you, that people can literally smell you as you're walking by, when you enter a room. That's due to the ambroxan in here. It also has saffron and cedar, and this gives it like this spicy, woody, earthy element, which is so unique because those notes are typically not blended with, you know, jasmine, which is another note in here. This doesn't smell like any one note pinned down. It just smells like Baccarat Rouge, and that's what makes it so different, so unique, so compelling. This smells like $1,000,000. I get compliments from women, from men, from everyone. Even my mom smelled this and was like, oh my gosh, and she has a collection of her own. But this is one of those perfumes, every time I smell it, my partner knows right away. He knows it like within a second you're wearing Baccarat, and that is because no other perfume can really compare in terms of how airy it is and how unique it is and how sweet it is, yet it's not just a sweet perfume. For example, Black Opium is a beautiful perfume. It's, you know, it is a sweet perfume, but there isn't as much depth with it. Something like this is just groundbreaking. It really is. And I think that up until now, this perfume has definitely had the most impact on me in terms of like, oh my gosh, if I had to keep only one perfume for life, it probably would be Baccarat Rouge. And it's because it performs amazing, it stays on all day long, everyone can smell it, everyone loves it. I mean, I mentioned a few perfumes earlier where I was like, there's a certain age group for it. It smells Middle Eastern. It smells, you know, there are going to be some people who aren't going to really like it. With this perfume, I can't see anyone thinking that it is unappealing. It is so sexy and attractive, and wow, if someone has a problem with Baccarat Rouge, I don't even want to hang out with them because this perfume is a gem of a masterpiece. I wear this perfume so much and I haven't even created a dent in there. It is just fabulous. This is 100 out of 10. This is the truth right here. Must sniff, must smell, must have. If you are going to try out one perfume from today's video, let it be this. I know everyone and their mom talks about it, but there's a reason why. And if you think too many people have it, then just layer it. But I honestly think this stands alone. You could layer it with something else just to make it a little bit different if you're scared that someone will smell like you. But Maison Francis Kurdjian just did it with this perfume, and this one is a showstopper. Now, you would think that I end my video with Baccarat Rouge because nothing can really compare to it, but there is something that comes very close, and that is this amazing perfume, which I got last year. I discovered this beauty right here, and this is Tabit, and it is by Tiziana Terenzi. Just take a look at the craftsmanship of this box, okay? There is a light in here. The perfume has its own light. It has its own little showcase here. This perfume was the first perfume to truly wow me after Baccarat Rouge. So let's talk about it. First off, it is so elegant. Like, this bottle is just everything. It is like this metallic gold color, and the lid is just beautiful. It has all of these kind of solar star references, and the bottle, just everything about this perfume is top notch, top quality, top of the line. I mean, wow. Like, when I got this perfume and I smelled it, I was at a loss for words. And the last time that had happened to me was with Baccarat Rouge. So the fact that this happened to me with Tabit, I kind of want to like keep this perfume a secret and not tell anyone about it, but I have to share it with you guys. This perfume, if you want something that is like competing with Baccarat Rouge in terms of the scent, in terms of the lasting power, in terms of projection and longevity and making men turn their head and be just so attracted to you magnetically, then try out Tabit by Tiziana Terenzi. This perfume is so unique. It starts off with some green notes at the top, and then there are notes of peach, sand, coconut, and cotton candy. Now, just let that sink in for a second. This perfume is tropical in a sense, but it's also so rich and complex. Oh my gosh, it is one of those perfumes that you cannot just wear casually. This deserves an amazing 5-star experience if you are going to wear this. So definitely recommend for a date night or for a very special occasion, because this is a special perfume. In the base, there's some musk and vanilla and woody notes and amber, but overall, the main thing that shines through with this fragrance is the coconut, the sand, and the cotton candy. It is so sweet and salty and tropical, yet like sophisticated and elegant. I personally have never smelled a perfume that was like tropical and fruity and sweet, but still so high quality and so top notch and so powerful in terms of just how long it lasts and how far it projects. And this perfume is just very unique. I highly recommend it. When my partner smelled this, he was like, okay, this one's a magical one. And he rarely says that. I mean, once again, he thinks most perfumes are just okay. He has quite the expensive taste, as you guys can see with these perfumes. He's not really attracted to just mainstream designer scents. He really likes scents that are unique, intoxicating, strong, powerful. So that, my friends, is the last perfume that my partner absolutely loves on me. So that wraps up today's video. I hope that you guys had fun. I know I absolutely love to share my perfumes with you guys, and definitely the ones on today's list were some of my absolute favorites. It seems that the top-notch perfumes that I have tend to be my partner's favorites, but they're also mine. And I just want you guys to know that everyone is different. Just because I like a perfume does not necessarily mean you will like a perfume. So just definitely make sure to try these out before you just go and buy them. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye!